Because this is a new series. This is behind the design.
Yes.
So we want to know some of the decisions, excuse me. Sorry. Michelle, Deborah's at the door.
This episode of Behind the Design is brought to you by the Volvo XC40, the SUV designed for city life.
Hi, Sophie.
Hi, Lynda. How are you?
I'm well. It's great to see you.
Yeah, you too. It's been a while.
I know. What a beautiful background you have.
Oh, thank you.
It's just outside your window. It's so lush.
It is lush. Our property backs onto a creek, or it's adjacent to a creek. And so this is actually my favorite room in the house because you sit here next to these huge old windows and look down into this beautiful, lush green side yard. And it's just so pretty.
So I reread the story that we
Yeah.
published of your house. Here's the cover for those that are collecting their issues of House and Home. It was a great piece, and I was rereading it last night, and I was so envious because I was reading about this old house that you bought and the things you wanted to save and the things you changed, which I know you're going to tell us about.
Yeah.
I was thinking, oh, she's in West Vancouver. She doesn't have to worry about winter. And, you could keep the original windows.
I know, that's true. But saying that, you can see, I don't know if you can see, but I've added these curtains because they are cold. And in the winter, we shut the curtains.
Makes me feel a bit better. But you bought a really old house, like an old.
We did.
And it's been through some bad renovations, I take it.
It had seen a lot of different renovations over the years. And when we bought it, when I found out we were going to do this talk today, I dug out the brochure from the house.
Oh, good. Let's see. Oh,
and it was a really good reminder of where we came from. I'm going to show you this page. This is the room we're in right now. And I don't know if you can see that.
I can see it.
Everything was brown and dark and gloomy and felt really heavy. And this room in particular felt like a fishing lodge because it's got this great big stone fireplace, which I'll show you in a minute. But all the dark paneling, and the floors were dark, and the furniture was all dark, and a lot of the walls in the house were painted sort of autumn colors, reds and greens and yellows, mustards. So the whole house just felt a little bit on the gloomy side.
I'll bet there are a lot of guys listening who are thinking, and what is wrong with the fishing lodge?
I know.
But you're not married to one, are you?
You know what? My husband and I, we actually do go fishing at this cool lodge every summer. And we had this discussion, like, do we want our living room to feel like the fishing lodge that we go to? And we decided 100% no. We love going to the lodge and staying for the weekend, but then you leave and you don't live in the fishing lodge. So we made the hard decision to paint the walls white in here, all the paneling. It felt a tiny bit sacrilegious, but we kept them dark for about a month. And then we tried whitewashing them because we thought at least you'll still see the wood, and it was still a no-go. We were never coming in the room. We never wanted to sit in here. And finally we just went for it and painted it all out white. And I'm so, so happy.
Well, first of all, your husband is a keeper. Because let me tell you, I still, after 30 years, get a lot of mail from women saying, help me convince my husband to let me paint the wood.
Yeah.
So, good for him. And I bet it wasn't that hard. I bet you didn't, belabor that decision.
No.
I admire you for trying to bleach, but you have to do what's right for the house.
Yes, exactly.
What's right for you. Oh, he thinks he's in the camera.
Is that your dog?
Yeah, he doesn't know that no one can see him. He thinks he loves the camera.
What kind of dog is he?
He just got groomed today. So, Archie, say hi to Sophie.
Archie's so beautiful. Oh my gosh, Lynda.
He's great.
Wow. Okay. It's nice that you could get him groomed. We've been we finally
found I thought you're open now. You can groom.
Yeah, we're a little more open. We just, it's good.
So are you going to take us on a bit of a tour while you talk to us?
I'm going to take you on a little tour.
I would love to hear some of the decisions behind the design elements that we're seeing.
So in my house, we decided to keep the big stone river rock fireplace.
Yes.
And it really has become a key element in the room. It grounds the room. It would have been crazy to take this out. The rocks come from the creek. It's such a statement. And although it's not what I would have designed if I was building my house, I really love the character it adds to this room.
Yes, the fact that you decided to paint all the walls white, which I read was Benjamin Moore, Cloud White.
Yes.
A favorite. I mean, all-time favorite white. You're sitting in a room that's Benjamin Moore, Cloud White.
Is it?
Of
Yeah,
course.
can't go wrong. And then also in this room, because we have these traditional elements, we chose to furnish it with more contemporary pieces. So I'll take you on a little tour and try not to be busy. This sofa is a piece by Benson, and this is contemporary, low slung. And then same coffee table is this marble coffee table, contemporary. And then these Casina chairs are kind of a design classic, but contemporary. So everything in here, there's sort of a balance. There's new and old. And I think that that's the mix that really can make a heritage house feel successful. And even with the lighting, for instance, classic
and black doors,
fixtures.
Always great.
Yeah.
Graphic hit.
Yeah, the black doors are kind of key. And then the white walls are really nice for framing, feeling like a gallery space. I love hanging artwork on paneling. I think it's always so successful. People worry about, if I've got paneling, how can I hang artwork? And I think I'd love the look of art on the paneling. I think it looks great. So in the dining room, we painted the paneling white. The ceiling has this nice coffer ceiling detail, which we kept. And then we added this gray grass cloth to the walls. So we wanted to add some texture in here and make it feel a little bit cozier. And I think that the gray does that. Again, we use really modern furniture. So we have this really big marble table from Polyform and the classic wishbone chairs. And then in here, the artwork is all really pretty graphic. It's all black and white sort of photography.
The table's beautiful. And
Thank you.
You have a young family?
I do, yeah.
And you don't have any issues with a white marble table?
Nope.
Good.
But here's what I tell my clients. If you're the type of person who you're going to be really, really upset the first time you see a little bit of an etch or a little bit of a mark, and it's going to drive you crazy, then marble might not be the one for you. But if you can live with a little bit, I always think of tables in all over Europe, France, and Italy, and every cafe table is marble. And they just live with the fact that you're going to see a little bit of an etching. You might see a wine glass ring, but to me, that just shows a life being lived. I don't need everything totally pristine and perfect. So
that's the patina. The other thing is, if you decide to opt for a marble table, you can't be a person that likes to move their furniture a lot.
You cannot move. This table took 4 guys.
Yeah.
It's 9 feet long.
Yeah.
See if you can get it better.
Which is great. It's fantastic. And you've paired it with wishbone chairs. Classic. Wishbone chairs are always right.
They are classic. And to be very truthful, my husband and I looked at a million chairs. We couldn't agree on anything except for the wishbone. So that was our choice. That was what we could agree on.
So there seems to be a thread of Scandi design that's hitting us all.
Yeah.
Are you finding that?
I am finding that. I feel like Scandinavian design, the pieces always feel really fresh. They feel light, they feel timeless. And so for me, they work in almost any space. And in our house, I wanted that freshness and that lightness. I didn't want anything that felt overly heavy or sort of overdone. I have another couple of pieces in the kitchen. I feel like they always hit the mark. We couldn't fit an island with the layouts. We got this vintage French workbench, and it serves as an island. I keep all my pots and pans down in the open shelf below, and it's pre-beat up, so it can take a beating. And it's a great spot to lay things out, and the kids kind of come and sit at it. This is the coveted breakfast spot, this one little spot on the end.
I like it so much better than an island, Sophie.
Well, thank you.
Way more
It
character,
did the job.
and it's airy. It's airy, and
yeah,
and it looks like it can be moved, which is nice.
It can actually slide around. It's really awesome that way. And then my little kitchen table. I'd never had a kitchen table in any of the houses I've lived in before, and I desperately wanted it in this house. So this is where my kids sit and eat breakfast and do their homework and do their crafts, and it's in full-time use all the time. But I love that it's part of the kitchen. Again, it's a Scandinavian piece of furniture. It's by that brand Muto. And the top,
how do you spell that? How do you spell Muto?
It's Muuto.
I don't know it.
It's a great brand. It's well priced. It's really well made. I think it's fantastic. And it's a really, really durable top. I can scrub it with Vim and get every little paint or felt or crayon mark out. So that was really successful part of the renovation.
What led to the decision to leave the frames of the leaded glass cupboard doors?
I know.
Natural wood. What? I mean, it works. I mean, I know why it works, but I want to know what led to your decision.
Well, we felt like they were this really charming glass, leaded glass, and it felt like it would be such a shame to take them out. They add a ton of character in here. And there they are.
Perfect.
And then we have them again over the fridge.
Uh-huh. Oh, yeah.
Here. So I had to search hard to find a fridge that fit under them, because most fridges are a bit taller. But we found a great Fisher Paykel fridge. And so really, that was the big decision in here, was to keep the leaded glass, and that would be the heritage element. And then the black just kind of quietly disappears. So yeah, we just made the most of what was existing. So for instance, in this little one, we made that underneath it a little kind of coffee bar area. There was another sink over here originally. I really wanted this little desk area. I find it so useful. And when we're designing for families, we always try and fit one of those little areas into a kitchen.
And then the wall beside the tile wall in your breakfast area, is that the same color? No.
That is chalkboard paint.
Oh, I love that. Do you use it as a chalkboard?
Yes, normally it has the whole kids' schedule of their weekly activities, which have now been reduced to nothing. So
yeah, you wish they would be busier.
I
but
know.
How old are your children?
My youngest is 9, and I have a 12-year-old and a 14-year-old.
So they're keeping busy now.
Yeah, they're doing their homeschooling, and they've done a pretty good job of keeping up with it all, and
that's great.
And doing it on their own. So it's good. So I'm going to keep going, and I'm going to show you our powder room on the main floor. So here's another one where we had to kind of work with the existing. There's this built-in bathtub that is an old cast iron tub in the corner there. Now, I normally would not have a bathtub in the powder room, but, well, first of all, it's super functional as our dog bath. But if we took it out, with where the window is, we couldn't really get cabinetry in there. It's a really funny size. We couldn't get a standard size tub in there. We didn't want a shower, so we decided we're just going to leave that.
But we have to talk about that floor. We have to stop and focus on it.
I know. I love the floor.
And I read that you designed that custom floor, so it didn't come that way.
No.
So you picked tiles and you laid them in that pattern.
Yes.
And I think that is brilliant.
Well, it was so fun. I loved doing this.
Is this something you do often for clients?
Yeah, we'll get into that kind of thing all the time, the really custom stuff, because it does make a big impact when you've really thought something through and spent the time on it, and make it a little bit more unusual, because anyone can go to the tile showroom and just pick a tile. But if you work with something to make it a little more unusual, I think it's a nice thing. Just
as a last bit of advice, if people are looking to buy a heritage house and renovate it the way you have, and they want to start collecting furniture as they see things come up at auction or online or wherever, what do you suggest that they start collecting?
Yeah, you know what? I would say buy what you love. If there's a piece that really speaks to you, it doesn't really matter what the era is. If you love it, it will work in your house, because you're going to buy pieces, all the pieces that you really love, really probably will have
Yeah.
a similar look and feel. And I don't think everything needs to match.
That was a great tour. And I loved hearing all the thoughts behind the design because they were so practical. The things that we all have to think about.
That's right. We're all thinking about them and we all have to be practical.
That's great. It's a great house. Thank you so much for this.
So nice to see you, Lynda. Thanks for doing
I'd like
this.
to thank you, and I'll be out to Vancouver as soon as they let me.
We'd love to see you. That'd be
Yes,
fun.
you're welcome to travel. Yes.
I know. Come and say hi. That would be great.
I will. Okay, great.
Okay, take care.
This episode of Behind the Design is brought to you by the Volvo XC40, the SUV designed for city life.